In a quiet valley where the mountains kissed the clouds, there was a narrow, twisting road. Travelers crossed it with their hopes and fears, but when night fell, the road became treacherous. Wild winds blew, and fog would swallow the path, causing many to lose their way. Years ago, a man named Rayan lived near that road. He was once a wanderer himself, searching for something he could never quite name. When his feet grew tired, he built a small hut by the roadside, and every night as darkness fell, he would light a single lantern and hang it on a wooden pole outside his home. At first, it was just for himself, to see the path better. But one night, as the fog thickened, he heard a voice crying out in fear, a traveler lost in the dark. Rayan took his lantern and walked out. "Come," he said, "follow the light." He guided the traveler safely down the path, sharing his food and warmth before sending him on his way. The man bowed deeply. "You've saved me," he said. From that night on, Rayan made it his mission to keep lanterns burning for others. He hung one every few miles along the road, walking long distances each evening to light them before the darkness settled. People began to call him the Lantern Keeper. Travelers from faraway villages spoke of him, the man whose lights never went out. The road became safer, and though Rayan lived simply, his heart was full. "A single flame," he would say, "can turn fear into hope." Years passed. His hair turned silver and his steps slowed, but his light still shone every night. Even when storms raged and the wind tried to steal the fire, Rayan would shield the flames with his own hands until they burned bright again. Then, one bitter winter night, a heavy snowstorm swept across the valley. The wind howled, and the road vanished under a blanket of white. No one dared to travel that night, except one man. Rayan had received a letter. His sister, who lived across the mountains, had fallen gravely ill. Without hesitation, he packed his things and took the lantern from its post. "Hold strong," he whispered to the others. "I'll be back before the light fades." But the storm was cruel. Snow blinded his eyes and the wind bit through his clothes. Hours passed, and the world turned into a blur of white. His legs trembled, his body weakened, and soon the flame of his lantern flickered and died. He tried to relight it, but his hands were shaking too much. The cold crept through him. "I can't stop now," he murmured, "not when someone needs me." But the darkness swallowed his voice. He fell to his knees, clutching the lifeless lantern. For the first time in his life, there was no light left to guide him. He closed his eyes, whispering, "Perhaps this is where my road ends." And then, faintly, he saw it. A warm, golden glow through the storm. One light, then another, and another. Lanterns. Dozens of them, shining softly through the snow, swaying in the wind. The very same lanterns he had lit for years. They stood like sentinels, their flames alive, lighting a path straight toward him. With what little strength he had left, Rayan followed the lights. Step by step, they guided him down the mountain until he saw a figure ahead, a young traveler holding a lantern high. "Sir," the man shouted, "I saw the lights and came to help. Follow me." Rayan's eyes filled with tears. The lights he had once given to others had now found their way back to him. When he finally reached shelter, he wept softly. "The light you give," he whispered, "is the light that returns." From that night on, Rayan continued lighting lanterns, not out of habit, but out of gratitude, because he had learned that kindness once shared becomes a circle. It never truly goes out. Years later, when Rayan passed away, travelers still saw lanterns glowing along that road. Some said it was the villagers keeping his memory alive. Others swore the lights appeared by themselves whenever someone was lost. But all agreed on one thing: the road was never truly dark again. So now I ask you, whose path could you light today without expecting anything in return? Because one day, when you find yourself lost, it might be that very same light that guides you home. Share your answer in the comments below. If this story touched your heart, Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell. Because every light you share comes back to you in ways you never expect. Thank you for watching.